The Four Magazine, Detroit, baby, we out here. You see what's going on, we activated, we ain't playing no games.
Welcome to another episode of Interviews with the Foreign Magazine, where we go beyond the veil into the thoughts, ideas, and perspectives of each guest that we sit down with. Today, we're joined by someone who spent decades serving the people of Detroit, not behind a desk, but in the field, in the firehouses, and in the neighborhoods. Known as the People's Chief, James Harris is now stepping into the political arena, running for a seat on the Detroit City Council. With nearly 30 years of experience in public safety and community engagement, he's looking to bring that same leadership and boots on the ground approach to City Hall. As the August 5th election approaches, we're sitting down with Chief Harris to talk about what the City Council actually does, what local elections, why does local elections matter more, and how he plans to represent Detroiters across the entire city.
Yes.
Welcome, the peoples, the man of the hour. What's going on, Chief? How you doing, brother?
Man, how you doing? I'm good.
Man, I can't complain. Definitely an honor and a pleasure to have you on the platform, man. Long overdue.
Absolutely.
But, you know, we here now, man.
Yes.
Overall, how has this experience been for you? I know we briefly talked off camera, but just in general, how has it been for you?
It's uplifting. Are you looking at a Detroit kid, grew up on the west side, was raised on the east side, southwest side. When I say that, I mean, I learned how to fish. I learned how to roller skate in Southwest Detroit at Rollercade. My late uncle was a hunter, fisherman, so I learned things like that in Southwest Detroit. Of course, I said I was born and raised on the west side. Then my parents, my roots are from the east side. They grew up on Garland and Mack. So I go over there and play over there. I had friends over there. Detroit raised me, you know what I mean? And I take pride in it. I'm unapologetic when it comes to loving Detroit. So to go around now as a city council candidate and have conversations with people, whether it's students that just graduated from high school or voting for the first time, or senior citizens that helped raise us. And when I say us, we're standing on their shoulders. The sacrifices they went through and what they did to get us where we are today, it's amazing. So to hear these stories, to hear their concerns, it's an awesome learning experience for me.
Absolutely, man. You know, my hopes and you know, I guess the motive for me to have you on is to, one, enlighten people on what you plan on bringing, you know, as a member of the city council, but also to enlighten them on what they may not know about, you know, the city council. So for those who don't fully understand, what exactly does a city council, a Detroit city council member do, and why should people care about this election?
Because local politics, and I'm not a politician, I'm a public servant, but local elections are for you. They touch you. You see it. You feel it. From the time you wake up in the morning, you got to get up at 5 in the morning in the winter. Still dark outside. When you walk out your house, you want your streetlights on. That's local. Now, of course, you should vote because people die for the right to vote. So you should vote in every election, whether it's presidential, gubernatorial, mayor, council, city clerk, whatever it is. But when you vote for a local election, that's helping you. That's your voice. And like I tell everybody, I was talking to a group and I call them, we got a team called Now, Generation Now. Means not yesterday, not tomorrow, they ready now. And a lot of them, this is their first time voting. When you break it down, we're the legislative branch. So the mayor can propose something and we vote on it. So say, back to the streets, it's dark on your street. You don't have a street light. Well, the mayor proposes, we're going to get an extra street light on every block. Well, the council, the 9 members of council can vote on that. And that's where it touches you. That's where it helps you. We vote on contracts. We vote on the budget. We may need more budget in our rec center so our kids can have something to do when they get out of school, because the council doesn't have anything to do with the Detroit public school system or the charter schools. Now, we can make suggestions and we can work together. And when you vote for James Harris and I'm in council, I want to have a liaison between the council and the school board and the superintendent so we can work together. But after school, a lot of times people just want to bash our kids. Oh, that kid is bad. That girl is bad. That boy is bad. No, they aren't. Give them something to do. What about music? What about arts? What about sports? Let's put that in our rec centers in every neighborhood so they have something to do after school. A lot of us, our parents, we're working every day. We can't be with our child 12 hours a day like it was back in the day. They spend the majority of their time at school. They're at school 7 hours. You might be at work. Let's have a safe, clean rec center where they can go and learn other skills, whether it's coding, whether it's getting in the studio, producing beats, whether it's getting behind the mic, singing, whether it's painting, drawing, designing video games. We know we have sports, but let's add to it. Boxing's getting more prevalent. We have dance, we have gymnastics, you have football, of course, basketball. But let's give them something to do so we can take the excuses away.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. No, I totally agree. You come from public service and community work. What made you want to transition into politics and run for city council specifically?
So I'm the chief of community relations. And it's funny how I got the nickname, the people's chief. So I'm in a grocery store one day, and it's an elderly lady, classy, elegant lady, and she was like, hey, chief, what you doing? And I ain't have my uniform on or nothing. She's like, I know you. I see you on TV all the time. I was like, how you doing? Pleasure to meet you. So she was like, well, you keep up the good work with the fire department, Chief James White. And I was like, at the time, James White was the chief of police. I was like, he's a great guy, but he's the chief of police. She's like, okay. So we talked a couple more seconds, and she's like, all right, well, good seeing you in person. I'm going to tell my friends I saw you, Chief James Craig. And I was like, with all due respect, man, I was like, I work for the fire department. I'm Chief Harris. I'm with the fire department. So you know how sometimes elderly ladies will do the hand gesture. So she walked off and she was just tickled, giggling. We both laughed. He's like, you know what? You the people's chief. I said, you know what? I'll take that.
Yeah.
I love people, and I give a lot of love. So I hope it reciprocates and it comes back. So that's where I got that moniker. But as being community relations chief over the fire department, I implemented several programs. Number one is DSAP. DSAP is a Detroit smoke alarm program where every citizen in Detroit gets a free smoke alarm in their home. The only qualification is you have to be a Detroit resident. So in doing that, I was in every district. The city's broken down in 7 districts. I went to every district, district 1 through 7, talking to the people, figuring out what they need, what they want. And a lot of people weren't educated on fire safety, myself included, before I started the fire department. I didn't know in the winter you can't turn on your oven to heat the home. You get carbon monoxide fumes. You can start a fire. A lot of people light candles and keep them near their window treatments, their curtains, their blinds. You can't do that. A lot of people put that mac and cheese on, and they forgot another ingredients for their lamb chops. So what do? They run to the grocery store. They leave the mac and cheese on. They don't turn the stove off. One thing leads to another. You went to the grocery store to get this extra ingredient for the lamb chop. Somebody called you. Left the grocery store, you made another stop. Whole time, you forgot you had the stove on. You come back, you see red and white lights, you see fire trucks everywhere. It can't be my house. It's your house. So a lot of that education, that safety piece, is just basic 101 housekeeping that the average person doesn't think about.
Yeah.
So in doing that, I learned a lot. I met a lot of people. I helped a lot of people. And the calls got different. They went from, hey, can you give me a carbon monoxide detector, to, hey, do you know somebody that can help me get a street light on my street? Do you know somebody that can help me get this trash cleaned up on my street? And I had a lot of relationships with a lot of people throughout the city who could help make that happen. So I was like, I love building bridges. I love bringing people together. So that's how it started.
Oh, man, dope. In terms of, what are some of the top priorities that you would specifically push for through legislation or city budgeting if elected to council?
Number one, make it easier on our businesses, our small businesses in the city. I don't want them to go through a bunch of red tape. You shouldn't have to get 15 permits and 15 things signed and go to 15 different buildings and go online and click on this. It should be a one-stop shop. You're ready to bring business and revenue into the city and help the city be a better place. It should be easy. It should be as easy as 1, 2, 3. That's number one. Number two, I want to put the neighbor back in neighborhoods.
That's right.
And we all know the heart of the city, let's call it what it is. Heart of the city is downtown. That's the heart of not only Detroit, any major city.
Yeah.
But what about the veins? The veins are our neighborhoods, the Grand Rivers, the Macs, the Bewicks, the Woodwards, the Grand Rivers, I already said that 7 Mile, 8 Mile. What about the neighborhoods?
Man.
I want those to pop. You know what I mean? You should be able to walk out of your house, go to church, get your outfit, get your hair done, do everything in the neighborhood. And then if you want to go down to LCA and see Beyonce, do it. But you should have that same option in your neighborhood.
No, definitely, man. And, not to cut you off, but even with, I'm a real, historian. So I just get fascinated by looking at those photos from back in the
Come
day and
on.
looking at Woodward and Grand River,
Come
how the
on.
buildings look and stuff. And I'm like, dang,
Yes.
man, like
Yes.
it'd really be cool if Detroit could get back to that space where you
Yes.
go on,
Yes.
you know, like you said, a Mac or a Grand River and see hundreds of people outside, small
Come on.
businesses, and just the activity of the
Flourishing.
city. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, what role does city council play in things like road repairs, garbage pickup, or fixing streetlights, as you talked about already? And how would you improve those basic services?
One key word, relationships. You build relationships with people, not just when you need something. You build those relationships throughout the year. And I've seen a lot of candidates who come around every 4 years. I'm in the neighborhood every day, every week, every month. Not just because I'm on the ballot. I'm accessible. When elected, I'm not going to be the person in the office talking about, hey, talk to my assistant, we'll get back to you. No, I'm coming. You tell me you got a problem on your street, and if it's a city street or a city road, meaning that there's some city roads, there's some county roads, there's some state roads, state highways. So whatever control or power we have as city council, if it's to beautify the city or safety, you got James Harris's vote at the council table. And my biggest priority is safety. I know it's kind of cliche, but I've been doing this 28 years. And my public safety, it didn't just start 28 years ago. My public safety started as safety patrol in elementary school. You know what I mean? I always cared about the health and safety and wellness of others. And that's what the world is about. You know, you put on this earth for a short time, not a long time. And you're judged on how many people you helped. How many people did you bring along? A lot of people got this me. Look what I did. Look what I did. I don't need that. I like to sit back and be like, I helped that person. You know what I mean? Whether it could be small to you, but it could be the biggest thing that ever happened in their life. So back to your question, if it's a street problem, say it's a pothole and it's damaging people's cars, let's be proactive instead of reactive. As a firefighter or first responder, we don't have time to be reactive. We got to be proactive. We only got a short amount of time to get in that house and that burning building and rescue you and get you out. So if there's a problem, we address it right then. You can't wait. If it's wintertime and you got a pothole, that pothole can turn into a sinkhole and your car can go in there. Now we're talking about lives at stake. So in answer to your question, anything pro-safety, pro-Detroit, when I'm at the table, I'm 100% in. And the city council's role is to vote and put money in budgets and ordinances to help us.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, a lot of people only see city council on TV doing arguments or budget votes. But like, what would you do differently to connect with everyday people year round?
I'd be in every district. That's a great question. So I would set up a satellite where I'm at every district at least twice a month. Meaning, instead of you having to come to me and you got to pay for parking and come downtown and come to the office, no, I'm coming to each and every district. Each and every district. There's 7 districts. So that means I'm going to the west side, going to go to the east side, the north end, southwest Detroit, Corktown, downtown, you name it. I'm coming to you. And you voice what you need right then. We'll have a satellite office and we get it done there.
Yeah. Some people think that they vote don't necessarily matter in local elections. What would you say to first-time voters who are skeptical about participating?
You don't vote, you don't have a voice. They used to have an old saying my uncle used to use, and it used to be closed mouths don't get fed. So your voice is loud when you vote. And that's the only thing. Everybody's got a complaint. Everybody's got a gripe. You know what I mean? Your gripe might be different from mine. You might want better tech, better technical services. You might want better Wi-Fi in your area. Whereas a senior, maybe an 80-year-old, don't really care about Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But if you don't vote, you can't change anything. And a lot of things go on and they slip through the cracks and we feel slighted. Like, how they do that? How they pull that? They tricked us. No, they didn't. You didn't go vote.
Yeah.
You didn't go to the meeting. They had a meeting. They let everybody know they were going to have a meeting. And if you came to that meeting, you could have changed this. But if you don't show up at that meeting and you don't show up at the polls, especially on August 5th and November 4th, you don't have anything to say because you didn't even put up a fight.
Absolutely. I did want to ask this question. Like, would you support ordinances that hold developers more accountable when they build in Detroit, like such as hiring Detroiters or keeping rent affordable?
Absolutely. And I was going to allude to that when it comes to neighborhoods. And what I love about our young people in Detroit, they're extremely talented. Their skill set is like no other, but they don't want to work for free and pennies, and they deserve affordable housing and living. So if you go off to school, if you go out to Howard, you go off to Harvard, and we want you to come back. A lot of us, our talent leaves and they stay away. But the reason they stay away is they're like, hey, I can't afford a house in Detroit. I can't afford the rent. I can't pay taxes. I can't pay car insurance. So when James Harris is elected as city council at large member, I'm going to vote for things like that and to hold our developers accountable. Meaning, let's hire some Detroiters that just got skilled trades, our plumbers, our electricians, our masonry workers, to make Detroit a better city. And then you got a vested interest. Like, hey, I built that. You know what I mean? I'm going to live
It's a part
here.
of you. Yeah.
It's a part of me.
Yeah.
I take interest in it.
Absolutely.
So it's a little different. And it's a full circle. So you got people you hire in Detroiters. You got businesses in Detroit. Guess where that money's going to go? I just got a nice check for building this. I'm a construction worker. I'm a skilled trades worker. Now I'm about to go to this local business in Detroit and spend my money here.
Absolutely.
So that's what it's about.
Nah.
And no knock to Oakland County, Washtenaw County, Macomb County. They're friends of mine. I like them too. But let's make Detroit and Wayne County strong.
Nah, that's right, man. And that is the key thing too, making people feel attached to the city. You know, oftentimes it's trash and different, you know what I mean? Parking lots and different stuff like that. And it's because it's no ownership.
Correct.
Like you don't ride by like saying like, that's mine. Grocery store. That's my,
that's
beauty.
Mine.
Yes. So I definitely agree with you on that. How would you make government like more transparent? Would you support live streaming, more meetings, sharing how budgets get spent, or creating community updates?
Absolutely. And I would break it down in layman's terms. Layman's terms mean, like when I used to give an interview for the fire department, I always kept it simple. Instead of using a word like extinguish the fire, I would say we put the fire out. So a 5-year-old could understand what I'm saying. Somebody who just got their doctorate from Harvard can understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But let's keep these meetings open to the public. Let's keep them brief. Let's keep them short. Let's keep them simple. And let's make it understandable to every citizen in the city of Detroit, no matter what your education level is.
Yes, sir. Just a few more questions. What does public safety mean to you beyond police? And what role should council play in making neighborhoods feel safer?
Man, you touching me right now. You getting right here. I'm a product of everything. I mean, I've been robbed before at gunpoint in the city. I've also seen people get robbed. I've seen a fire. I've been in a fire. Got burned in a fire. I've seen neighbors that need the ambulance. So I don't care what your ethnicity is. I don't care what your economic class is. I don't care who you are. Safety isn't a privilege. Safety is a right. You want to be able to come out your door and feel all right.
Yeah.
You want to be able to come in from church, from work, from school without looking over your shoulder because it's 9 o'clock at night and it's dark out. We deserve safety. Detroit deserves better. And our current council, they're doing a pretty good job, but it's time for a change. We need some fresh air. And when I'm at the table voting on the budget, public safety is key. Everybody wants that ambulance to come. Everybody wants that police car to come. Fire trucks, we coming. We got one of the highest response times in the nation. So we're coming. So when it comes to public safety, I'm pro public safety. Don't even ask me. Yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Yes, sir.
Do we need police on every block? Yes.
Absolutely.
Do we need our fire stations open? Yes. Do our EMS, police, and fire deserve higher pay? Yes.
Absolutely. Even as you speak to, like having, police present, what would be your plan for helping young people get engaged in civic life, like beyond just voting, or, as we see like New Era Detroit, and we see, these different, organizations that's actually, hitting the streets and being proactive and not necessarily just waiting for the police to do the work, but also policing our own neighborhoods. Like, what would you do to support that?
Shout out to Zeke and New Era. They're doing a great job out there. I have experience working in CVI, Community Violence Intervention. So shout out to Zoe, Force Detroit, Skrill. I can go on for days.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't understand what CVI is. So the police can't do it by themselves. The police can't be everywhere at all times. And you want to be relatable. The beauty of our Detroit Police Department, we can relate to our people. You know what I mean? And in other cities and other states, you see a lot of violence when it comes to police and the citizens. We don't have that here because we know how to talk to our citizens. We know how to relate to them. So community policing is huge. And community policing, I'm going to keep using this word, is proactive. That means you out playing with the kids at the park. You playing basketball. So these kids say, oh, the police are all right. They're not our enemy. So when a crime happens, the police they got a relationship with the people already in the neighborhood, or Mrs. Johnson to live down the street because I've helped her carry her groceries in.
Yeah.
So community policing is huge, and partnerships are huge. I'm a career athlete, played football, ran track, and I know the beauty of teamwork when it works. So you got our community violence intervention partners, our police working together with the neighborhood. That's how it happens. That's how it works.
I agree. Lastly, if someone listening today, wants to get involved or hold their elected officials accountable, where should they start?
At the Coleman A. Young Municipal Center downtown on Woodward. That's it.
That's right.
But you want to talk to me, is Vote James Harris on Instagram, Facebook. I'm very approachable. I love listening. I'm a more listener than a talker. This is unique to me because I just love to hear what people want and what people need. And it's simple. A lot of these problems are very simple. Now, the city council can't do everything, but what we can do is help the citizens. And the spotlight is on the citizens, not us.
That's right, man. Lastly, man, tell the people, how can they connect with you, how to vote for you, talk about August 5th. Last words to the people.
Okay, August 5th is a primary. You're going to vote for James Harris for city council at large. I'm your person. I'm the people's person. I'm the voice for you. The August 5th primary is crucial. And then November 4th is the general. But go vote James Harris on Facebook and Instagram to see what we're doing, where we'll be at. We're doing a listening tour right now throughout the city, just seeing what everybody's concerns are, from Alta Road all the way to Telegraph, from the river all the way to 8 Mile. Detroit needs James Harris. James Harris needs Detroit.
Man, that's what it is. Chief James Harris, definitely a privilege and honor to have you, brother.
Thank you.
Until next time, y'all make sure that y'all go vote. Chief James Harris, the Foreign Magazine, Pulse of the Culture. Let's get it.